And all I want to do is make one pasta dish.
Oh,
Just one. Just one. We've got some pesto in the fridge that's got maybe 4 days on it.
Oh,
I've got some creme fraiche in, let's make some salmon, make pesto creme fraiche sauce, and get on some tagliatelle.
Oh, I've got some creme
It'd be amazing, but no, apparently the food of the apocalypse is dry spaghetti.
I got spaghetti from Aldi yesterday.
Aldi have some in stock?
Yeah.
Well, I know where I'm flipping popping this afternoon.
I'm making spicy garlic mushrooms with spaghetti.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
it's already in the slow cooker.
Our local Asda, Morrison's and Quality Save have barren. Absolutely barren.
It's fucking weird, isn't it?
It's so strict. Like, I get it. People want to have stuff in the house in case they need to self-isolate. But you've got two options there. One, I'm sure family and friends can bring you some things.
Yeah, just put it on the doorstep.
Yeah, like
Ring of Stone style.
When I'm really unwell, if I get a takeout and I'm really unwell, in the notes on like Just Eat or if I'm ordering on the phone and I've paid by card, I'll say, just knock on door, leave it outside, I'm not feeling well, don't want to give you my germs. Do you know what I mean? And they get it. They knock on the door, you open the door, they've gone. Brilliant. There are ways to do it. Family can drop some stuff off for you. You could order it on Amazon. You can order shit like that on Amazon nowadays and just get it brought to your door. And yet everybody's panicked. And they've seen other people panic. So they've panicked. And now no one can wipe their arse.
And to buy some toilet roll.
Yep. And kitchen roll. You might have to, based on our local shops, you might have to settle for just buying a load of Kleenex. It's weird. Or just buy like David Cameron's memoirs or Piers Morgan's autobiography, just stuff like that.
I'd love to wipe my ass with Piers Morgan.
Oh.
And then flush him away.
Speaking of flushing away, hi everybody, we're here to flush away your boredom for approximately an hour and 25 minutes.
Even though the episode's 2 hours long.
Yeah. we will stop giving shits at the hour 25 mark.
Yeah.
Mostly because we don't have paper to wipe them with.
Hey!
You're listening to Big Damn Cast, nerdy news, geeky gossip, all stuff that's fit to occupy your time for a brief span before we all die of the coronavirus. My name is Chris Johnson.
My name is Matthew Elbowcough Watson.
Your Russian cousin.
You know what? Do you remember Flushed Away?
Yeah, I remember Flushed Away. I was trying to describe Flushed Away to Lucy this week. She'd never seen it. I was like,
I've seen it.
It's kind of charming, but it's also really pointless.
It is kind of charming, but also pointless.
It's DreamWorks, right?
Yeah.
So it's Sony, not Sony. DreamWorks distribute Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit in 2005, and it's great. And then they go, Aardman, we want to work with you more, but like your work rate is sort of too slow for us because we want to get on that hype train, son. So we want you to make a film with us with your quirky charm and, iconic design, but we're going to CGI it because we want to get it out quicker.
Yeah.
And as a result, it's like, my main response to that film was, that was alright, but it would have been better if it was stop motion. That's my one sort of, out the back of it, I was like, if this was stop motion, I think I'd like it a lot more.
It's alright.
Yeah.
That's the Flushed Away corner for today.
Hugh Jackman's a fancy rat.
But what about in the film?
Hey! Spaghetti! Well, wait, no, hang on. None of that left. No one's buying, like, tomatoes or chives or sauces. Like, nothing. There are pre-made sauces filling the World Foods aisle in our local Asda. Pre-made sauces.
It all pastas?
All pastas.
All pastas.
All pastas. The last time I went was yesterday afternoon.
You can't
and
even
there
get,
was one, I repeat, one packet of Mac. And it was split open. So that's why it's been left.
Was someone fighting over the Mac?
They wanted to return the Mac. The return of the Mac.
I'd be alright.
You're jerking your little macaroni.
Yeah. Give me the Mac. Give me the Mac.
Mm.
I'm alright. My mum hoards tins anyway. So I'll be fine.
See, that makes more sense, doesn't it? If you're going to self-isolate, get tin food.
And she doesn't
Soups,
do it because she's going to self-isolate.
peaches.
She just buys... She forgets she's got it in and buys it again.
Yeah, my stepmom does exactly the same thing.
So she's got...
Exactly the same thing. My dad's currently at home because Brexit preemptive measures for his company got him and an entire department laid off.
Got a country back though, didn't we? Got a country back!
My passports, yeah! I'm so happy that I got my new passport in just before that.
Yeah,
it's
Keeks got a new passport yesterday.
It's just a lovely smug feeling for the
yes.
next 10 years. But yeah, he's at home a lot and he keeps saying, It's ridiculous. I've only just remembered that we have an extra freezer in the shed. I'm like, you only just remembered? He's like, I kind of forgot because we don't really use it, but it's full. It is full.
What's it full of?
It's full of food. It's like, well, what food? It's like, it's stuff we obviously picked up at some point and then put in the outside freezer and we've forgotten about it. It's like,
none of that will be edible now.
Well, it will be for a very small window. You defrost that and then immediately devour it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Meat can apparently last up to 20 years if frozen.
What?
20 years if completely frozen and untouched in that time. But your window is super tiny to eat it. Like, if you defrost it, you better then be cooking it, like, immediately. You can eat that shiz.
So you're telling me that I could chow down on some, like, early 2000s turkey Twizzlers if I wanted to?
My friend, I would want you to not only do that, I would want you to do it sat in Jamie Oliver's front yard. Making a point. Make a point, but you did this. You did this, Jamie. With your nakedness, your naked chef.
Your naked chefness.
That's
but you were never naked!
He never was! I think he did, like, a promo shoot in the nude for the show. And it was like, right, but now I'm just worried that your food's got pubes in it.
It's Bill, no, he gets a Hollywood.
Hollywood pubes?
Hollywood wax.
Oh, right! Not to be confused with the Paul Hollywood wax, which is what Paul Hollywood left on the lady he was sleeping with behind his wife's back. So, that's it. I'm here with the bake-off bitchiness.
We've already spilt the coffee already. We don't want to spill any tea.
We did literally spill a coffee before we recorded.
Yeah, it's true.
Right, in case you can't tell, guys, there's not much news this week.
We're going to talk about... We've got 2 trailers to talk about for films that are out pretty fucking soon.
Yeah, so they won't be in the thumbnail, folks.
Let's do Black Widow first.
I beg your pardon?
It's just... no. No, I'm not giving you the benefit.
I mean, there's many of them now, according to this trailer.
I'm not rising. I'm not rising to your...
Do you want to know? Right, so, unabashedly, I have like a teenage boy or girl. I have like some celebrity crushes. Those people where you go, oh god, oh yeah, something about them. The top 2 currently have been for a few years. Scarlett Johansson, as long as I don't read any interviews with her, because she always says something that makes me go, what are you doing?
Yeah, I see.
And Chris Evans. The American actor, not the British DJ.
No.
Though I'm sure he's lovely. But,
that's silly.
said Billy Piper in the late 90s. But I got an email the other day from Scarlett Johansson. And I was like, what? And for a split second, this is how I realised that it's like a teen crush. I went, what? I just had that little flutter of, what does this mean? And then obviously logic takes over half a second later. I open it, it's like, oh, it's an Omaze email.
Chris, I've been thinking about you.
I'm thinking about you
out of my mind.
I think you're the perfect acting coach to help me play the role of a Japanese robot. Scarlett, stop typing.
Stop it.
But it was really sad. So anything to do with this film is making me happy sometimes in an unnecessarily inappropriate Tumblr-like way. But mostly because my favourite MCU film's still The Winter Soldier, and this looks like a spiritual sequel to that more than any other MCU film.
Yeah, it
so
has
some more Winter Soldier kind of action.
Captain America shield throwing, and a fake Captain America, and another fake Captain America.
Yeah?
Because you've got Red Guardian and Taskmaster.
Yeah? We're in the year of fake Captain Americas. Wyatt Russell's bloody US agent later this year.
We're getting US agent later this year.
Although, much later this year, apparently. Filming has been delayed because of the coronavirus.
Well, apparently it wasn't nearly done.
Yeah, it was a shoot in, I think, Budapest.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll find a way to get around it. Use some Mandalorian rear projection.
That's amazing, isn't it?
I know, right?
That's
Holy
amazing.
Shit! It's incredible, and it's the fact. I'm assuming you also watched the Mr. Sunday movies like mini video on it this week. And
I'd
stuff.
seen it before that.
Yeah, but
yeah, that was just
when he spelled it out, talking about. Like, it essentially started with King Kong, and I'm like, oh my god, you're right. Like, isn't it weird that this is something that went out of favour?
No, Kanisha found some shots and some video that someone had loaded to a Reddit thread or something of, like, behind-the-scenes stuff with the big, like, rear projection screens.
That's nuts. I mean...
And I was like, that's fucking rear projection. They just did rear projection again, but with better tech.
Yeah.
Fuck.
360 rear projection. That is either live action scenarios or completely digital, like facsimiles that could be manipulated and used using the technology to your whim.
Once the price for the LED screens comes down, that could really, really lead to some cool filmmaking.
And make TV cheaper to make overall. Bigger budget TV would be cheaper because you wouldn't have to do as much location filming. Hopefully it doesn't destroy the love of acting. This is not why I became an actor, Peter.
Well, no, because you
why
can see
am I
it.
in another green bloody room?
That's the thing. That's why it's better than green screen. You can see it.
See it. Do you think we'll ever go back to the trend of actors, like the ultra common trend of actors sat in cars pretending to drive?
I fucking hope so.
Because that has sort of gone away now. It still exists.
We finished
pickups,
season 4 of Buffy last night, so I watched.
Some would say
Restless.
a treat. Some would say a task. I would say a treat because Restless is how freaking bold of them to be like, here's your season finale.
Let's do a David Lynch film
and
as an
here's
episode
an
of
extra
Buffy.
episode to end the season on about dreams. I wear the cheese. The cheese does not wear me.
It was just the bit with Xander in the ice cream van and the clearly green screened sort of absolutely no relation to what's going on background.
Yes.
Like, this is great.
It's
Xander's
so
dream
good.
sequence in that is the best bit. Is the best bit.
Restless is wonderful, and it's sort of it's like your final. Oh, we can kind of have fun with the finale before the original ending for the show comes around at the end of next season and slaps you in the gut.
And one last tease for Dawn as well.
Yes. Oh, of course. Yes. Fudge. And then next episode they just cock on their table at the end of the episode. Go. Oh, by the way, we've changed everything. Bye.
Because I hadn't watched Restless since it went out.
God, 2000.
Yeah.
Blimey, yeah.
So
has it aged
I
well?
was like, yeah, it has. It really has. I hadn't watched a lot of season 4 since it went out.
Scares me to think that Buffy, like, it now exists 2 decades ago. That's so
Those
strange.
fucking orange contacts on Sarah Michelle Gellar in Primeval.
Yeah.
And
Oh, shit, so you've been watching Series 4, so you've watched Superstar recently.
I didn't watch all of it. Keeks has been watching it. I've watched a little bit with her, but
Superstar's
I've not watched all of it.
magical. That's the
Which
one
one's
that suddenly, like, at the end of the pre-titles, like, Jonathan is involved. The nerd.
Oh no, I didn't catch that one.
And then that's the title sequence is just all about him, and you're like, what is happening? It's so I love the reality bending episodes because they can be so much fun. Even in the weaker sort of chunks of the show, the reality bending ones can be an absolute joy.
No, I caught the one where Oz comes back.
Yeah.
And then from then on, it was just like the downfall of the Initiative.
Yeah.
Who was so cheesy.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God, yeah. And I think like all the actors do a good job there because essentially I think the Initiative were all briefed to basically be just like your Weapon X, play it like camp comic book villains, like that is your plan, that is your mission.
Also,
and the design of Adam is like simultaneously cool yet also 80s action figure-y.
Again, because I'd completely forgotten about it because I hadn't seen it since it gone out.
Yeah.
But the climax of Primeval is basically a trial run for the climax of Cabin in the Woods.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I was like, oh.
There's a seed being planted here, which we shall see the sprouts of in 13 years' time. Well, 9 years' time, because Cabin in the Woods was made in like 2009.
Yeah, it was made before Chris Hemsworth was Thor.
And then we all got it in like 2013.
And boy, did we get it.
We got it hard.
Just like we're getting Black Widow.
Yay!
Fucking hell, that was a tangent.
It works. Strong female protagonist in an action series that stands out as someone who's an absolute boss.
It looks like it's going to be a fun central cast as well with Rachel Weisz and David Harbour and Florence Pugh. Looks good.
Feige's been doing the rounds this past week as well, saying like people have said, so why the solo film now? And he's obviously not dipped into the whole thing of, well, the guys who used to run this shit didn't think it was a good idea because they're sexist pigs.
It just took us long to get it. It just took us this long to get it here.
But narratively, he's been explaining why now was the perfect time to tell a Natasha story, and he said because like. We saw the superhero story finish in Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, we saw the end of her superhero story. Now we're going to go back and see, like, her greatest personal triumph for herself. Like, a story that's all about her. He says it felt better giving her a victory lap on a smaller scale than being like, fireworks display! And she's off now, bye.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, okay.
It's not a bad way to think of it.
Plus, it's a great way to bring everybody back in after Phase 3 ended. Because how do you top Phase 3? Well, you can't, but you give us stories we want to see. And people have been asking for a Black Widow film for years.
Yeah.
So, to kick off with a Black Widow film, great decision.
I'm down with that.
Eternals. Oh, God, have you seen the what they call the Million Moms?
No.
These, much like Fathers for Justice, these organisations started...
Oh, God, no.
...with pure intent.
Oh, no.
Million Moms, for example, started with the pure intent of being like, we're Christians and Catholics across America, and we're here to make sure that Like, our kids have been protected, and the media they consume.
Has it become like the American equivalent of Mumsnet?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. They're petitioning a mass boycott of the Eternals because Marvel have confirmed that there's a gay kiss in the Eternals.
Oh, sure.
And they're like, we cannot expose our children to this agenda. You're like, what, the agenda of people who exist interacting?
Gay people exist. That's not an agenda. That's just a fact. That's just a fact.
So backwards, man.
Oh.
Much like the decision to delay a Black Widow movie for so long, but we're getting it, and it looks pretty cool. We see more S.H.I.E.L.D. antics from Taskmaster.
Yeah.
We see a freaking Black Panther moment, complete with, like, Wakanda arms cross.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing someone on Twitter going, like, right, he's appropriating Black Panther. I think that's a little bit. And it's like, no. He's mimicking Black Panther.
Yeah.
It's not a race appropriation thing. When you watch the film, you're going to see that that's what Taskmaster does. I mean, you see it in this trailer. He's watching presumably CCTV footage, but it's clearly just footage from the corridor fight in Iron Man 2.
Fucking hell.
Of Widow. And there's a bit where you see them kind of both get up at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, Tasha, he's got your moveset.
It's the mimicry.
Sorry, they've got your moveset.
Yeah, because
I still believe
thinking it's Rachel Weisz in the suit.
Although then again, that could be a red herring because there is that other actor who's in the cast who's on the poster. We don't know what part he's playing. He's just in the bottom, and his Twitter profile a few months back said #Taskmaster, and then that disappeared. Yeah. So it's like, but maybe he's the red herring. Maybe he's playing Taskmaster, and then in the film it's like, no, he's not Taskmaster.
If it's a switcheroo? Because if it is an Iron Man,
a modified Iron Man suit,
Iron Man tech sort of motion mimicry like we saw in Civil War.
Yeah. Then
anybody could theoretically wear
be the
it.
Taskmaster.
And they could do a switcheroo.
I love that we're kind of getting Taskmaster's Supervillain Academy in that
he runs the Red Room.
He's got the Red Room and he's running it, so he's creating a legion of Black Widows.
Yeah,
it's like that's cool.
That is cool.
Like that the poster itself, just like the fact that there's Tasha in the front, and then behind her there's just all these silhouettes. It's like, oh my god, are they all in the Black Widow program now? Oh, that's scary. We're getting into full on kind of like Winter Soldier, Manchurian Candidate stuff again. It looks like there's brainwashing going on. We've got David Harbour looking like an absolute beast.
Manchurian Mandate. Wee!
Capturian Iron Man date.
On the subject of David Harbour, I'm assuming you've seen that Stranger Things 4 has already blown its load.
How do you mean? Blown its load?
By revealing that Hopper's back.
Yeah. Oh, that. Oh, yeah. No, I went on a very dignified Twitter rant about that.
Oh, yeah, no, I did see that. Yeah, no, of course.
Like, I have no interest in watching Stranger Things 4, and as a result, also, death as an erratic device with immediate resurrection is now something I am so done with because it's lazy drama.
See,
And I say that as someone whose favourite show in the world is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where that happens between 5 and 6. But she is dead at the end of series 5.
But they play it for drama.
Absolutely dead.
Well.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with, like...
And same with Doctor Who, like, the main character dies all the time, but that's a show reshake. It's not a...
I don't have a huge problem with,
the character can die.
With death and resurrections.
And we have seen them die in Impossible Astronaut. We've seen the Doctor die.
I don't have a huge problem with it because it can lead to interesting drama for the other characters.
I just feel it's overused.
Yeah.
So, like, with Stranger Things, it was like, his closing was so beautifully done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's... Like, he's back next series. He's like, oh, for God's sake.
I kind of hoped that season 3 was like, that's it, we're done.
Yeah,
I think that was a really good ending. But it doesn't... I'm still interested to see what they do with it.
I hope you get all the enjoyment you need out of it, he says, knowing he'll inevitably have to watch it too, because we make a pop culture podcast. David Harbour was at Liverpool Comic Con last weekend.
I saw some of the pictures.
And he's clearly still shooting it, because he's got, like, shaved head, shaved
well, they
face.
only released a read-through video recently, so they've only just started production, I think.
Shit! So that Hopper teaser was specifically created? Because I always assumed that'd just be like a snippet of footage from the first episode.
Or like one of the first things they shot.
God, that's ridiculous. Maybe it was weather specific. Maybe they just shot it in America during the winter. And...
Oh, I don't think they will have shot it. They will have shot it all in the States. I don't think they'll have gone abroad.
What about to Canada?
Well,
Canada!
Shot it in America's hat.
Taskmaster's also Hawkeye. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, and
he does some Spider-Man like flips as well.
Yeah, he's been watching YouTube.
Yeah, well, of course. You're the Spider-Man from YouTube.
Do a flip. so I can put it into my database of moves.
Oh my god! Imagine they reveal that.
Mm.
Well, actually, that wouldn't make sense because that happens after Civil War, and this takes place after Civil War too. Oh, could be concurrent. Taskmaster's informant is you're the Spider-Man from YouTube guy. He just keeps sending him footage.
Homecoming happens
after Civil War, just after.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's like in the couple months after Civil War, and this.
Oh yeah,
this
because
takes
they
place...
have that bit where it's like they're watching the Captain America in like videos and like, but he's a criminal.
Isn't this guy like a war criminal?
yeah. Of course.
And this story takes place during then. I hope we get more William Hurt. The two trailers so far have suggested he's in one scene, but I'd quite like to see him in a couple.
Hey, everybody hurts.
William Hurts.
A
fine actor, but his worst performance hands down is Lost in Space. I mean, that whole film is terrible. But there's a bit where he literally turns. Who plays Mrs. Smith in it?
Bit of a guilty pleasure.
No,
is it Mimi Rogers?
I think so. And he just turns and says, "I love you, wife," and the delivery's just so bad. You're like, you've tuned out for this, haven't you? You have absolutely tuned out for this, Mr. Hurt. You are not here.
Whereas Gary Oldman, on the other hand, is 100% in,
and his CGI spider body
1000% in.
That horrible little monkey thing that looks terrible.
Yeah. It's not a good film,
no,
but I kind of love it.
If you're a Matt LeBlanc fan, go right ahead. Watch Matt LeBlanc pretend to be Harrison Ford for 2 hours.
It's pretty good though.
Is it?
No,
it's
bad. I love it.
Although the theme remix for the credits, though very 90s.
Yeah. I remember. I was at my parents, I was killing some time with my parents ages ago now. And I was just flicking through the channels and I flicked onto one of the old rerun channels and there was a classic Lost in Space on. I was like, wow, this is the gayest show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because it's like, but that whole subplot was like shape-shifting aliens and one of them seduces Dr. Smith.
Oh.
I'm like, but this is he's clearly a screaming homosexual.
Flaming.
And just please lean into it. It's I love it.
It's odd. Because I grew up, my knowledge of the original show mostly came from The Simpsons referencing it. Do you know what I mean? That was my knowledge of Lost in Space.
Yeah.
And then I'd
never seen an episode until I was at my parents' at the time. I was like, this is so camp. I fucking love it.
Danger, Will Robinson. What's the robot called? Robbie.
No, it's just the robot, I think.
Is it
Robbie the robot's from Forbidden Planet?
Oh, of course. Is it the same, or near enough the same?
I think it might be the same design.
Because one of them appears in Gremlins. It's on the phone when you cut to the Inventor Fair very briefly when Ran Peltzer's trying to phone home. Like one of them's answering the phone. That's one of my favourite gags in Gremlins. Like in the background, you've got the time machine, like the Robert Louis Stevenson, the time machine in the back. Is it Robert Louis Stevenson? H.G. Wells.
H.G. Wells, yeah.
Why did I say Robert Louis Stevenson? There's that kind of era of technology and steam power and all that shit. Yeah. And it's there in the background. And then it cuts to the other stuff and it cuts back to him on the phone trying again. And the time machine's gone and there are people standing there going like, what the... Like trying to find where this exhibit's gone. It's like, that is so good! God, I love you, Gremlins.
That's the new one. That's the original Lost in Space robot.
There he is. Hello. With his domey head.
The new one is...
And that's a toy from the 90s, isn't it? Like when they were putting out a bunch of remote-controlled toys. They've been doing that recently in the States. A lot of toy companies are making retro toys again, but aimed at young kids. So there's a new Iron Giant toy out right now.
Yeah!
From Walmart. It's like a really... It's about sort of 12, 13 inches tall. It's bulky as sin. It's got a bunch of accessories. And it's like, okay, I'm up for that. Hasbro just revealed, because they've now got the Ghostbusters license.
Yes.
So they've revealed they're doing 6-inch action figures with decent detail and a Build-A-Figure part. They're of the original lineup, and Dana and Gozer, and the Build-A-Figure is the Zool Terror Dog. Which is really annoying, because it's like, I bet you're never going to do Vince Claw, though, you bastards. I want one to sit in a pile of coats on a bed.
Wave 2.
No, Wave 2, they'll do something Ghostbusters 2. They'll check it out.
Wave 3.
Probably.
Wave 4.
Maybe. But they're also doing...
Wave 4 is Extreme Ghostbusters.
They're also doing these really simplified cartoony action figures based on the original film. And they're really cool and straightforward.
Oh, Galaxy Adventure Disney Toy Box style.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, less articulate, but yeah, that kind of like super stylized. And they are what's the flippums or the scream figures or whatever, the ones they used to do with their heads turned around, they screamed.
Yeah, I had some of those.
But the Ghostbusters don't do it. It's the ghosts they come packaged with have a scream feature. So they've gone like, here, have some like basic Ghostbusters action figures with screaming ghost effects.
Some of those Ghostbusters like weird gimmick action figures were fucking great.
And there's a Slimer and a Stay Puft in that range as well. And then they're doing a recreation of the sort of the Kenner figures with of just like the basic real Ghostbusters figures.
That's pretty cool.
Where Slimer is boxed as Green Ghost, as he was.
The Green Ghost!
So it's pretty sweet. Looks pretty sweet. Oh god, they're doing proton packs, and guess what? They are just like plain blue plastic with stickers on. See what I mean? Like, they're making these toys knowing full well that parents are mostly going to be buying them for their kids, going, no, seriously! Play with these things, please!
I don't have children, I'm going to buy them for myself.
Do it! They have like combined PKE meters and stuff, like ones where you can click stuff to it to change your play style. We're not sponsored, but if they'd like to.
Why don't I have any money?
There's only one Afterlife toy as of yet. For the basic stylized figures, the Ecto 1 is based on Afterlife, not the originals. So it's got it's clean design, but it's got like the gunner seat and some of the features that we're going to see in the new one instead of the original. It's like, that's fine. Sure, whatever. Cool. Like, combine them. I'm sure we'll get Afterlife merch if this sells well after the films come out, because they've been playing it pretty close to the chest so far as to what's happening in that film.
Yes.
So, I'm game.
Christopher.
Mattstopher.
Tell me about Jungle Cruise.
The Jungle Cruise is a ride that's been around in most of the Walt Disney Central parks since their inception. It's famed for having skippers who take you on a journey through the Amazonian jungles. They tell incredibly cheesy, corny-ass jokes to the point where it became a bit of a trope by the 90s that, like, oh my god, the skippers have to keep saying these stupid jokes. So Disney leaned hard into that, and now your skippers are people who are completely self-aware and essentially out of all your cast members are the best improv comedians. They will just put them on the Jungle Cruise. So as a result, this ride with pretty old-ass animatronics and terrible jokes like, there it is, everyone, the backside of water, and all these just sort of weird little nuances and whatnots, is made enjoyable by your skipper being an absolutely sarcastic badass. Jungle Cruise is the latest Disney ride to get a film adaptation, and the second full trailer has just dropped. The first one dropped last October, I think we talked about it, and the new one's just dropped, and it basically it's another film in the ongoing loose series Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wears khaki and fights in a jungle.
But this one's from a different studio.
This is from a different studio, yeah. So we've two Jumanjis, Journey 2 was one of them.
Yeah.
He was in another one. Was he in Sahara?
No, he wasn't in Sahara.
No, he wasn't. Was that McConaughey? I'm not sure.
I think it was.
It was people in khaki. The Rock's done at least one other one as well where he's been in khaki. Rampage, partly.
The
he's
original...
in khaki for some Rampage.
Are you thinking of Welcome to the Jungle? / The Rundown, depending on what territory you're in. With Sean
yes! I think The Rock might be in that.
That was an early Rock. That was an early.
Like he's still got hair. He's not become, as he calls himself, the big, bald, brown, beautiful man.
And he wasn't as massive as he is now.
God, he's massive now. He's flipping massive. You watch him in the start of The Mummy Returns, and you're like, you're tiny.
You just put him, but it's like, he's fucking huge, man.
He has small legs. He's like an action figure.
Yeah.
He's got muscular, but small legs.
He's a Dorito with legs.
He's Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear. Well, no, because Buzz Lightyear, they make a conscious effort to, like, kind of imply that Buzz Lightyear's got a bit of weight on him.
Yeah.
He's a little bit porky. And it's like, all right, I like that.
Jesse likes that.
One of the, like, 3 things we can cosplay. Thanks, guys. Fat Thor, Buzz Lightyear. And if we tape our legs extra small, early Rock. But yeah, the big, brown, bald, beautiful man is back in the Jungle Cruise, starring alongside Emily Blunt. And Jack Whitehall, who, have you noticed, 2 trailers down, no dialogue for him. Like, they've not given him a moment. I think he might say a couple words in the first one, but they've not given him, like...
I think they've realised that everything he said is not funny.
Full disclosure, we're not huge fans of Jack Whitehall's style of humour.
That's why I like him in Good Omens, because he's not funny.
He's not a funny character. He's a pathetic character, and he plays it incredibly endearingly.
And straight. He plays it straight.
Yeah. What's really interesting about this, like a different version of the word straight, but obviously there was a whole controversy last year. They were like, Jack White will be playing a homosexual character in Jungle Cruise. It's like, right? Why is that new? Oh, it's because you want to drill up publicity. But of course, we know the way Disney does things, and you can maybe confer this in terms of Onward, because you're going to be reviewing Onward, surely.
Yes.
Disney downplay that in the actual films so much that you feel the only reason they announce it is to make you go, oh, cool, like more representation in cinema, great, thanks, Disney. But then they downplay it so much in a way that can usually be dubbed over in the Chinese market and other countries and territories where homosexuality is either a crime or something that they don't like.
Yes.
Is it downplayed on Onward as well?
You could lose the dialogue yeah.
Wow.
Quite easily.
Wow. Holy fuck. Wow. This is the world we live in, guys.
Well, I'll tell you.
Spaghetti shortage and homophobia stopping films from just telling the damn stories they want to tell. This is ridiculous. Right? And companies being too chicken shit to fight back against it. Anywho, Jungle Cruise is a fun-looking, at least, sort of adventure movie. It kind of looks like a combination of The Mummy and Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah,
I'm here for it. The second trailer looks pretty fun.
I'm getting very.
Giamatti's in it.
Yes,
so
it's always good. I'm getting very Julian and Isle vibes off it.
Yes,
I'm definitely here for.
Yes, yeah, a little bit of Kurt Russell.
No,
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Yes. Because there's two, isn't there? Julian Isle and...
the other one that no one likes.
That other one. The one with the stuff. Ruby and the something, probably. I don't know.
Ruby and the Dadoos.
It's back when your action heroes were all like 30, 40-somethings with sweeping mullets.
Yeah.
And all the heroines they were playing off against, for the most part, were like 18. But
also,
it's got some charm. It's got some charm as a film.
It looks like it's... It looks like it's going to be poking fun at a lot of that stuff as well.
Oh, yeah, the final shot where they're swinging to get away from
swing.
something and they don't quite make the landing and he's just sort of like gripping it with his heel.
And Emily Blunt just not having any time for his bullshit.
Yeah, Emily Blunt giving sort of like Mummy 2 Rachel Weisz vibes.
Yeah.
Which I'm here for.
I'm here for all day long.
I hope it's good. Do I believe it's going to be? Probably not. I really want it to be.
It could be. I think at best we're looking at a sort of a successor to the original Pirates of the Caribbean fun, tongue-in-cheek adventure stuff. Self-aware adventure stuff.
Hopefully it's successful enough that Disney finally go, right, Guillermo, shall we make this Haunted Mansion movie that we've been like cock-teasing you with being able to make for the last 5, 6, 7 years?
And Guillermo will
the
go,
Haunted Mansion movie...
No, I'm making another fish fucking movie.
I want to fuck fish. Can I put a fish getting fucked into the Haunted Mansion? Yes, because you're everyone's favourite Krampus.
I love that a fish fucking movie is like the best movie of that year.
I finally bought it the other week.
Have you seen it yet?
I've seen Ship of Water, yeah. Oh, yeah, I saw Ship of Water. But it was one of those where I was like, I'm not in a rush to buy it. I will buy it eventually. And then the other week we bought Ready or Not. And my recommendations immediately recommended A Quiet Place, which we didn't have, and The Shape of Water. And they were both like, on Blu-ray, like £4. I went, oh, go on then.
Excellent.
Like, get him in the basket.
Excellent.
Let's bring him home. Bring him home.
On the subject of Emily Blunt, I'm really looking forward to Quiet Place Part 2. I really hope it's good.
If you're listening to this at the very latest on the Friday of the YouTube release, Channel 4 are showing A Quiet Place on Saturday night, and have teamed up with the motion picture company. So after it's finished, there will be a special look vignette / featurette.
Which is rare that
a British
terrestrial channel gets that.
does
so
that stuff.
that's interesting.
So is it Paramount Quiet Place?
I think so.
So good on them. Like, well done, guys. That's actually really, really cool. Maybe Film 4 pulled some strings.
Yeah, I reckon so.
But that's pretty cool.
But also, I love the fact that, you know, most actors who go into directing, direct fucking coming of age dramas or self actualized, so it's semi-biographical fucking festival circuit dramas. John Krasinski I'm going to do a creature feature.
I'm going to do a creature feature, and you're all going to respond really well to it. So I'm going to be like, I do have an idea for a second part. I'm just going to do that.
I love it.
Between getting buff and playing Jack Ryan, I'm going to make another creature feature.
And I hope,
with my wife being a badass.
I feel like he's all the way in for genre stuff, which a lot of actors turned directors are not. They're just whatever.
A lot of actors who get control of the next project make weird shit like Hudson Hawk.
Hudson Hawk's fucking just the best.
Do you use that word the best in the traditional context?
No, it's new and our heretofore undiscovered use of the word best, which you are previously unfamiliar with.
For those who don't know, Hudson Hawk was a passion project of Bruce Willis's.
It's so bad.
Around the time he was really pushing his musical career in the late 80s, early 90s. And it's basically, he's like a jewel thief who times his thieving to music.
Like swing songs.
So he's singing
a
lot.
It's him and Danny Aiello.
And there's lots of musical sequences where they're just singing out loud to each other. And it's not a musical, but it may as well be.
And there's a bunch of spies all named after chocolate bars.
There's a bit where they're flying on a glider.
Yeah, there's like it's like it's all about like the search for Da Vinci's Philosopher's Stone.
And there's oh god, and there's
got a great Richard E. Grant villain performance.
Okay, that's quite good in it. He's great in it.
And who's the last who plays his sister? I can't remember.
It is, and I have to stress this. This is not proven and is rumour. I have to stress this before I mention it because they do make a fuss out of this with Hudson Hawk. Do you know about the missing $30 million rumour? So Hudson Hawk cost the same as Terminator 2. Terminator 2
that
is
money does not appear on screen.
Yeah, Terminator 2 is it does, you just don't realise. Rumoured. We don't know because Terminator 2 had a budget of however many, and the majority of it would have gone to Arnie, like paying for Arnie to reprise the role.
Oh, Sandra Bernhard is his sister. The Mayflower twins.
And then the rest of it would have gone to the effects budget for the most part, because Terminator 2 is an effects-heavy movie. It's still cited as one of the best action films ever made.
Yeah.
Like 30 plus years on nearly. And it's superb. It's beautiful. Hudson Hawk has the same budget. Pre-production, so during pre-production, its budget was announced as being 30 million shy of that figure, which makes sense. And again, you could assume that maybe the majority of the budget went to paying Bruce Willis, even though it was his project. You know, he would have taken a big ass cut because he would have like sold it to the studios, like, "This is the film, we're going to do it, and this and the other." Oh, my fee's this, because you know that's how baller he would have been at the time. Like it's a vanity project, and he also would have absolutely charged them a ridiculous amount of money. Bruce Willis is known for charging a lot for very little. The reason his character leaves the Expendables franchise and his character is replaced by Harrison Ford's character is because he couldn't be asked to do filming. Stallone was like, "We want you for 3 days and we'll pay you $3 million for 3 days." Like $3 million for 3 days of shooting. 2 scenes, 3 days. And Willis turned around and went, $4 million. And Stallone went, "Fuck you." Wrote his character. It's in the third one, I think, isn't it? He wrote his character out and wrote in Harrison Ford's character.
I haven't watched any of the Expendables since the first one because the first one was terminally boring.
The second one's more fun.
Okay.
It's still stupid, but it's more fun. And the finale's really fun. It's in an airport, I think. That's one with Arnie joins it, isn't it? The second one.
He's got a cameo in the first one.
Yeah, he gets involved in the action sequence, and he literally says at one point during it, "I told you I'll be back." And it's like, oh my god, this film knows full well what it's doing. This is ridiculous. I'm here for it. I've not seen the third, but I kind of want to now just to stick my finger up and tell Bruce Willis to swivel. $30 million is added by the time the film's released. People are like, where'd that go? And no one will confirm. But rumour, not proven. Don't sue us, Bruce Willis. Story goes that an effects artist came out and went, "I was paid for additional overtime. Not $30 million. I was paid for additional overtime on the post-production of the movie. CGIing in a sturdier hairline for Bruce Willis." Frame by frame. Now, when you think about that, that is
so good.
So 24 frames a second, folks. 24 frames a second. Bruce Willis is the main character and is probably in at least 90% of the shots in the film. Yeah? So 90% of the film, frame by frame, a visual effects artist putting a stronger hairline on an actor.
That is...
In the days where you would have to just paint it frame by frame, you couldn't like incorporate it, motion capture. Just wear a better wig.
Wait, it's a wig?
Not a wig.
It's not a wig.
It's his hair. It's back when his hair was receding quite a bit. Because Bruce Willis has always had a receding hairline.
Bruce Willis doesn't wear a wig, but Bradley Walsh does.
Yep. When will you wear wigs? So yeah, Bruce Willis, like throughout the 80s, his hairline was receding, and That's fine.
That is...
There's no reason to be embarrassed about that. Same goes to you, Tom Cruise. Your sexuality is your thing to own. Why do you have some kind of weird hold-up about it? Oh, yes, it's because your religion apparently has a problem with it, but whatever. But doesn't mind covering it up. Anyway, the point is, don't sue us. It's all conjecture and rumour. But
where's your wife, David Miscavige?
Well, that's the thing with the Bruce Willis thing. He refused to sort of either shave his hair off, get implants, wear wigs or whatever for the longest time. And knowing what we know about Bruce Willis now, it's probably because he couldn't be asked to go to makeup half an hour earlier to have a wig applied.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, and eventually bites the bullet and shaves, and Bruce Willis has been bald in every Bruce Willis film since, 99?
Something like that.
And it's a good look. He looks good. He's a good-looking bald man. It's like, deal with it. But there was a period where he was determined to keep his hair in and wouldn't wear wigs.
Yeah.
And you could absolutely imagine that on a vanity project where he could probably squeeze an extra 30 mil out of the studio on budget, he would have someone digitally bulk out his hairline in every frame. It's weird.
That is weird.
Especially because if I remember correctly, the poster he's wearing a hat. Just make that a character trait. Wear the hat for the whole film. He's got a hat and sunglasses on in the poster or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, Jungle Cruise looks fun.
Jungle Cruise looks fun.
Cinemas now. In cinemas now, folks.
In cinemas now.
Not put back because of a virus. Like Peter Rabbit 2 has been. I'm not even kidding.
Peter Rabbit 2 is the coronavirus.
I'm kind of I'm devastated for the sake of cinema because it's this is nuts. Cinema, a lot of cinemas are going to lose business that they were definitely going to have that would help support them.
Yeah.
Because cinemas, folks, maybe franchises, maybe chains, but a lot of those actual individual places of work and the employees in them will only survive if the theatre they're working in makes a decent amount on concessions. That's how it works, unfortunately. And
unfortunately,
Peter Rabbit was the kids' movie for the Easter release.
Yeah.
Without that, you're going to have a lot, a gargantuanly reduced amount of business over cinemas at Easter, and that is going to affect the individual chains. That sucks because the people who work there don't deserve to deal with all that shit. But it's also kind of great for me because it means more people will probably buy tickets to the Easter theatre show I'm doing.
Yay!
They won't be taking their kids to see Peter Rabbit during half term.
Yay!
So come on down, guys. ntrlincoln.co.uk.
Peter Rabbit 2.
Peter Boogaloo. You know Daisy Ridley didn't return for it.
Shocking.
Her part's been recast, and there's no word as to why.
Shocking.
And it makes me think that maybe she just went, I don't need this. I don't need this now.
I'm surprised she didn't do that with Rise of Skywalker.
Hello! All of the actors now, have you seen them? All of them are making throwaway jokes at its expense.
Yeah.
It's almost like they've formed a WhatsApp group. They've just gone, shall we just audibly give no shits?
Well, this didn't work out.
It's so strange. It's really, really weird.
So strange. And yet, completely understandable.
Just make more Mandalorian, Disney. Just do that.
I love it when actors can turn around and be like, yeah, that wasn't good.
My best story ever, Michael Caine, Jaws the Revenge. I have never seen that movie, but I've seen the house that movie paid for, and it is a very nice house.
I think you kind of have to have that self-awareness of being like, yeah, I know when something I was in was good and when something I was in was bad. And I can be open about it. But a lot of the time, the studios are like, we don't want him to say bad things about this. But I think there's more to be gained from acknowledging something's quality.
Yeah.
And still being able to talk about it and still being able to like it even. Than there is to be like, I have to tell everyone this thing was good, even though I didn't think it was.
Christopher Walken was once asked about his acting technique. Quite a candid interview. I can't remember what show it was. But the interviewer was being very candid with him. He said, says, you've done a lot of films. You have done so many movies. This was during the 2000s.
You've done all the films.
He's like, you've done all the films, Mr. Walken. And the thing is, they're not all critically acclaimed movies. But you apparently have a philosophy as to why, if you get offered a job, 9 times out of 10, you take it, apparently. Why is that? And he says, well, there are actors who don't get that frequent work, and I would, if I were in that position, to see someone just turning a job down, I'd think it's disgusting. You take it. You've been given an opportunity, take it. But also, every job is a learning experience. No matter what it is, you are going to learn something from it about your craft, about your work ethic, about the people you work with. So I want to take on every single one. And the guy then says, what, even Balls of Fury, just to remind people, a film about like the martial art-esque learning of table tennis.
Yeah, bad.
And Christopher Walken hears that, laughs and goes, well, and also the money's good. So, like, openly basically going, yeah, some of these films are shit, but, like, I get paid, and I guess I learned something as well.
It's like I've said before, if my career as an actor is just, like, straight-to-video C movies...
Oh,
like,
there's a wonderful...
I'd love it.
I'd be happy. There's a wonderful actor. She's amazing. She's called Charlie Bond. Give her a follow on Twitter. She's brilliant. She, like, her Twitter bio itself is like, you may recognise me from like the lowest DVD shelf of your local Tesco.
Yeah.
Because she does a lot of like horror flicks and low budget horror flicks and stuff. I became aware of her because I put some money toward a crowdfund for a project called Dead Air, which is basically Gremlins on a plane, and it looked great.
Charlie Bond.
Charlie Bond.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, she is great. What's the bio?
British accent VO artist, mainly in the horror section of your friendly local video store.
There it is. Yeah, there you go.
Love it.
She's great, but she has talked about how she's insanely grateful for basically having made a decent living out of being in C, D, E, F list like horror films and stuff, because she just has fun. She's having fun and earning money, and is like, sod it. I don't mind being like victim number 4 in this slasher film. Yeah. I don't mind being final girl in this monster movie. I don't mind being this. Like, good on you. She has a really good work ethic. She's worth a follow. What's her handle? Is it
at Miss Charlie Bond?
MS or
MISS?
MISS Charlie Bond, guys. Go give her a follow. She's great.
Charlie IE, not Charlie EY.
Yeah. Tell her Big Damn sent you. No, but she's great. Like, work ethic wise, hilarious, and like, I agree. I'd freaking love to do that.
Her credits include Strippers vs. Werewolves, The Fall of the Essex Boys, Vendetta, Riot, Curse of the Witching Tree, Patient 7, Art Ache, Hellraiser, Slumber, King Lear, Dead Air, Pandemonium. Love it. I'm going to have to look at some of those films now. But anyway, we're not talking about any of those.
We're talking about moving... Yeah, we're talking about moving forward.
Onward!
Fuck, I've got it wrong.
So Onward, it's the new Pixar movie. It is two brothers, just two brothers.
And they're running.
The bond between these brothers, it's just...
Is there running? Are they running?
There's a little bit of running, but mostly driving.
So what is the basic plot of Onward, good sir?
So it's bright, but good.
Is that a thing?
It is a world where... It's a fantasy world, but that's progressed to the modern day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no humans or anything. It's all fantasy creatures. The main characters are elves.
Racist propaganda.
Yes. The main characters are elves. The boy's stepfather is a centaur police officer. And many others. The unicorns and dragons are pets.
Like, it's Zootopia, but fantasy.
It's Zootopia,
creatures.
but Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
There's an in-universe like Dungeons and Dragons stand-in called... Quests of Yore, I think it is. That Barley, the Chris Pratt brother, plays.
Called Coronavirus, and it features humans stocking up on toilet paper.
No, it's presented as... It's Dungeons and Dragons, but it's presented as historically accurate.
Okay.
So the game is... like, historically... It's all taken from actual history. Like, all the spells and spellcraft and all the rules and stuff.
From our history?
From their history.
Okay.
From their history.
Okay.
So, it's, which comes into play. So the two boys...
two brothers.
Barley, the elder, is a bit of a fuck-up with a panel van. So, with a sweet drawing of a unicorn on it. So what are you going to do?
The brief would be a Chris Pratt type.
A Chris Pratt type?
Casting.
A pre Guardians of the Galaxy Chris Pratt type.
Yeah.
He's slightly old. He's the elder, and then the younger Ian, voiced by Tom Holland, is...
Who's doing all the voice work at
all
the
the
minute.
voice work.
Nuts. All American as well.
Yeah, but his accent's pretty fucking flawless. So,
damn fine.
And he's got the right energy for a lot of it as well. He's about to turn 16, and their father passed away just before Ian was born.
Okay.
So Barley doesn't really have any memories of him.
And Ian
he has
never met him.
He has like a couple, and Ian never met him at all.
Okay.
Then on Ian's 16th birthday, his mum gives him something that Dad put away for him for when Ian turned 16, and it's a magic staff. And magic's kind of gone out of the world. There isn't really magic anymore. But the boy's father believed that there was still some magic in the world, and that they hoped that they had some, because he's left him a spell to bring him back for a day so he can see who they've grown up to be. And they do the spell, and it doesn't quite work, and they only bring him up from the waist down. Bring him back from the waist down. So they have 24 hours to get another MacGuffin to do this spell to bring the rest of him back before he disappears forever.
Jeez.
Because you can only do the spell once.
That's a bit heavy.
That's the plot.
That's a bit heavy.
Oh, mate. Guess what I was at the end of this film?
A crying, blubbering mess?
Crying like a bitch. Like a small child whose ice cream has dropped on the floor in the middle of a Tesco. Like, it's just... It gets you, man. It gets you. And I came out of it, I was like, fucking Pixar, man. Every fucking time. Well, not every time, because...
Good Dinosaur exists.
Yeah. But, like, more often than not.
They'll do Summit.
It's like, it's...
To tug on your heart.
I mean, look, Coco.
Yeah, oh.
Jesus, Coco destroyed me.
Jesus, wet.
It's not as good as Coco.
I don't think anything ever will be.
But it is quite good. It uses its conceit smartly. It doesn't, like, throw too many... What if the modern day, but fantasy creatures at you? It's quite smart in the way it uses its... It picks one joke, and then expands on that, and expands on that, and expands on that in a logical sense, rather than doing and this thing, and sight gag, and sight gag, and sight gag.
I'm sure I've seen a clip where
there's does
a whole
that
thing
again,
with, like, shrinking and growing sort of stuff.
That is a spell gone wrong, and also
a sprung
brings in pixies.
Oh, brings in.
Shall I get into spoilers so I can tell you some cool stuff?
Hit me with some spoilers. If you don't want to. If you don't want to know
go
the
and see
ins and outs.
It's good. It's not as good as Coco. It's better than Incredibles 2 and Monsters University.
That's not hard. I do have a fondness for Monsters University.
Yeah, it's a good Pixar film. It's no Inside Out or Coco, but it is good. It's in the better half of Pixar stuff.
Stick around for emails in a little while, but first,
some spoilers for Onward. So, cool things that it does. Ian never gets to meet his dad.
Damn. That is okay. All right.
When it comes down to it, it takes them so long to get the MacGuffin, and Ian has to use his magic to fend off the curse that they unleash by getting the MacGuffin, that only Barley gets to see his dad, and only for about 5 minutes.
Damn. Okay.
And so you don't hear their conversation. You see their interaction from Ian's point of view with his dad turned away.
Yeah. Oh God! So his dad does he ever
fucking heartbreaking?
Does his dad even like set eyes on Ian? Does he ever see him? Oh God!
Nope. So,
oh God!
But the main through line is Ian realizing that despite him and his brother, being at odds sometimes, and they're not super dysfunctional, they're just like normal dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Like they're very close.
They're at that
brothers.
age where they're becoming adults, and their like philosophies
Barley
and lifestyles are clashing now. And
Barley basically is an adult.
Yeah,
but he's in a state of arrested development.
So
and he's constantly
quote,
he's obsessed.
A Chris Pratt type.
Yeah,
quote.
He's obsessed with his quests of your stuff, his fake D&D stuff, and everything is a quest. He leans into it, but he also believes that as part of that, he does believe that they've lost something. By being as modern as they are. Like, they're sort of not quite stepdad, who's the centaur, their mum's boyfriend. He is so out of shape because he drives everywhere. And so Bally's like, you're a centaur. You used to be able to run 70 miles, and he's like, I don't need to run anywhere. I've got a car. It's things like that.
How does a centaur fit in a car?
Quite funnily, apparently. Like, this is a shot of him getting out of it, and it's just like the idea is his back end takes up the whole back seat of the car.
Oh, right, okay.
So he just sort of like collapses the front seat down, puts his back end in, and pedals with his front feet.
Jesus.
But he's clearly uncomfortable in this big cop car.
Yeah.
And he barely fits in it because he's massive. He's a centaur. It's got some really cool. But one of the main sort of gags that they really expand on is they have to go to the Manticore's tavern to get to when they realise that they need a Phoenix gem, the MacGuffin. They have to go on this quest, and all good quests start at the Manticore's tavern because the Manticore, she has all the knowledge.
Yeah.
The little quest, but you've got to respect her. It turns out the Manticore's tavern has been turned into like a Chuck E. Cheese style theme restaurant.
That's a good idea.
And then the Manticore is like, reformed, and she's like, it's Octavia Spencer plays her, and it's like she's like a buttoned up manager of the place. And then they manage to get her to just they manage to get through to her, and she just has like a midlife crisis breakdown and just wrecks the place. It's like pulls all the fake cladding off all the walls and gets back to the original and just like gets everyone out. And then she sort of rediscovers her adventurousness.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Are there crappy animatronics and stuff?
there's a Manticore mascot.
Brilliant.
There's a dude dressed up as the Manticore.
Brilliant. That's a great idea.
And like the kids colouring things based on her old like quest maps.
Yeah.
And
It's just been completely sanitized and turned into this cutesy little.
And part of her breaking point is that she's getting nagged by a hen party that their karaoke machine's broken and trying to fix it. And then she needs to get her curse breaking sword back.
Okay.
So they can help defend the boys. Because the B plot is the boys' mum and the Manticore trying to get to the boys before they get the Phoenix gem, because they don't know about the curse.
Right, and what is the curse?
It basically summons a big dragon.
Oh shit.
But it turns out that the Phoenix gem is hidden near their school, the mascot of which is a dragon. So the dragon manifests and it uses the school to create its body.
Oh, that's freakish.
So the goofy face of the smiling dragon sports mascot is the dragon's face.
Oh, that's horrifying.
And it's got some really cool visual gags in that. It's very good. So they're fighting this big sort of like concrete dragon, a dragon made out of concrete, like fragments of the school. It's some really, really inventive stuff in there. Barley gets shrunk down by a spell that Ian's trying that backfires. It turns him tiny. Gets into a big fight with a bunch of biker pixies. But in doing so, reminds the pixies that they don't need bikes because they can fly.
Oh, right, of course. Yeah.
But they don't fly. They just bike. They bike everywhere.
They'd be biking.
But it takes a team of pixies to operate a motorcycle because they're tiny. So when like 4 bikes pull up at a gas station, fucking 40 pixies come out of the bike and start wrecking the gas station shop. It's, and then of course you've got some Weekend at Bernie's fun stuff with them
trying to disguise a pair of legs.
Them leading the pair of legs around with like rags on top, with like a dog lead or a unicorn lead, I suppose. No, a dragon lead because they've got a pet dragon. And it's just there's just some really. It's like the concept of Bright, but
not written by a sexual predator.
Not written by a sexual predator, and actually thought through. And again, they're not trying to do everything. They're just doing, okay, well, we've got this idea, so let's, like the Manticore's Tavern Chuck E. Cheese thing.
Yeah.
Working that to, and actually going into it in depth and thinking about how that would look.
Yeah.
And what scenarios that could lead to.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like sight gags and background stuff, rather than just orcs and black people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's got a real emotional heart.
No reality breaking pop culture references either.
No.
Get the fuck back home to Fiona. They still made a Shrek movie in this reality? What? Huh? I like Shrek. Wrong film, Will. Wrong film.
Great voice performances.
Who stands out? Holland
and Pratt at the core of the film. Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Octavia Spencer as their mother and the Manticore, respectively. Very, very strong. There is, of course, the female gay character the cop who appears in like maybe one scene.
Who's a Cyclops?
She might be in another scene later on.
Big old press release from Disney.
Yeah.
Yay, representation genuinely mean that. But how brief is it?
So the actress is, where is she? Lena Waithe. And it basically just is a conversation. So the boys disguise themselves as their mum's boyfriend using a spell.
Okay.
To get out of a speeding ticket. So, and it shows that it's the back and forth between these two officers and the boys disguised as the centaur. With Ian as the front and Barley as the back. Thingy horse style. Yeah. But again, it keeps moving, so you see it from their perspective, and then you see it from the boys' perspective, as they're like behind a sort of magic image.
Yeah. Or
like inside a sort of spectral costume almost.
Yeah.
Some quite neat visuals. And then, but then he's talking about, he sort of convinces them that he's having trouble like adjusting to the boys because he's sort of, but not quite a stepfather.
Mm.
And then the Officer Spectre, the Lena Waithe character, is like, "Oh, I know exactly what you're like. When I was a new parent, when me and my girlfriend had kids, but you could easily edit that stuff out for foreign markets where they're all homophobic and shit, and then it never comes up again."
Oh my god! So it's the LeFou thing. It's
yeah.
A big press release,
it's
guys.
Dialogue.
Big press release, and we move on.
She mentions her and her girlfriend having trouble with parenting in a line of dialogue, and that's it. And then that character's barely in the rest of the film.
Hey Disney.
Do better.
Hey Disney. Do more.
Do better. Do more, do better.
So, oh god, a very quick tangent. You've heard about the new Disney Plus prequel TV series that's been announced.
Oh, well, Gaston LeFou. What? Alright.
Why? Why?
Because...
Why? Gad and Evans have signed on. Why?
Because Mr.
Money.
Content must be fed.
You must appease Mr. Content.
Mr. Content must be appeased.
If you don't appease him, his children will starve. And his children need to feast.
Also, so did Luke Evans and Josh Gad. So
Yeah, but they can make other things and we'll all watch them.
Money's good.
Whoa. Balls of Fury.
So yeah,
Disney
Onwards.
Plus series.
Onwards, go
Great.
get it. It could be worse. It could be that fucking Billy Magnuson thing. Which we haven't heard anything about.
Could be Hudson Hawk.
Hey! Could be worse. It could be the emails.
What the feck? Is this where people send messages to us via an electronic device?
Well, we'll get the first one out. The first one we'll get out of the way is the weekly Matt and Chris, two lifelong Doctor Who fans, reluctantly answer Doctor Who questions.
My God.
With another doorstopper of an email from our friend and yours, Tom Monty.
Is this a chunky boy email?
It's a chunky boy email.
Tom, get Grammarly. Don't get Grammarly. It's a rip-off. Proofread, guys. Don't get Grammarly. And Grammarly, stop advertising to everyone. Advertise to people who need help with writing stuff. Don't just be like, hey, everybody, do you want to be lazy as sin?
Yes.
Our software can make it so that your email has a pleasant tone.
I am lazy as sin.
Is
this not clear?
God. I just find it so ridiculous. I see the adverts for Grammarly on every freaking video on YouTube. And I get, annoyed. So I'm like, look, there are people who absolutely could do it with help.
It could be that ad. I don't think they've stopped running it now, but it's the one for the train line. Where it's like random influencer who looks like he hasn't showered.
I'm going to the
3 days.
Midlands, that guy.
And it's like, alright guys, train line's an absolutely sick app.
Oh,
it's like, fuck off.
Oh, there's another one at the minute for
unwashed
for I can't remember what it is, but for an antivirus thing, and no, it's for honey. It's for honey. It's for
honey.
And the first frame of it looks like a shit post.
Yeah,
it's like, how did anyone sign off on it?
Because it's targeted for influencers. That's why.
What I'm basically saying
influencers like you.
If you genuinely need help writing, get Grammarly. If you don't have something that holds you back in that respect, teach yourself to proofread and read back your shit. People take the time to take 1 minute to reread through something, for God's sake. Anyway, that's. I'm just going to put my old man soapbox away. And we're going to get Tom Monty's old man.
Hand it over to Tom. It says, Dear Chris and Matt.
Hi, Tom.
With Series 12 over...
Of Doctor Whom?
I will now provide my dissection of the 13th Doctor, which...
What the hell? Are there photos?
Comes across as a threat more than anything else.
Alright, Sid James.
So we've now had 2 seasons with Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, and it is with regret for me to say that I'm still yet to have that, she's the Doctor moment. As the show stands at the moment, other than a lot of the writing, I think the Doctor is one of the key factors as to why I've not been enjoying the Chibnall run. I hate to say it, but I think she's a miscast. She feels like an excitable, eccentric primary school teacher, and it feels like she's trying to emulate David Tennant or Matt Smith. Other than being overly quirky, there are no personality traits I can think of that are exclusive to her Doctor, unlike with all the other ones. This Doctor relies so heavily on the sonic screwdriver and uses it for absolutely everything. Feels like she never solves anything herself anymore. 13's relationship with her companions feels off. It feels like there's no chemistry between any of them, and I don't buy their relationships. Not to mention the bit where Graham asks her for advice about his cancer, and she literally just says he's too socially awkward for this and shuts him down. What the hell was all that about? I just get the impression that she doesn't care for her so-called fam. She just lets them wander off and doesn't question where they are. Also, the character's comedy never lands for me, but this is mainly down to the script. Whittaker's performance is very one-note, and there are times when she overpronounces and speaks slowly, especially in exposition scenes, that really makes it feel like she's just reading from a script or lecturing to a class. Aside from the comedy, one aspect of the Doctor that I think is essential to the character is the character's darkness, and what it doesn't need to be surface level, it needs to come out every now and then, but with 13 I feel like this has been missing. I don't know if this is down to Whittaker's acting capabilities or just Chibnall's writing, but the extent of her Doctor being angry is just mildly pissed off, and even with the Gallifrey arc, this series, all it really amounted to was her pushing the Master on the floor and being a bit shouty, far from the fury of a Time Lord or the oncoming storm. And I feel like the script is the only thing giving her any presence in the room. I get no aura or authority of or gravitas from 13, and having the Ruth Doctor has helped solidify my feelings towards her, as Ruth was able to demonstrate a more unique personality and gravitas in 10 minutes than 13 portrayed in 2 series. It makes me sad that Jo Martin wasn't cast as 13. It's a great shame, because they really needed to get the first females casting right, but I think there were many ideal alternatives to Whittaker, other than Jo Martin, that I think would have been more suited to the role, i.e. Emma Thompson, Tilda Swinton, Joanna Lumley, to name a few. But sadly, it was with the 13th Doctor, the first female Doctor. Her only distinguishing quality is just that. I'd like to say my feelings could change in Series 13, but I think it's too late in the game for that, so I really hope it's her and Chibnall's final series, mainly because of the poetry of 13 going in Series 13 and 14 kicking off in Series 14. I would love to hear both of your thoughts on 13 after Series 12. Have your thoughts on her change since the end of Series 11? And where would you like to see the character go in Series 13?
Tom Monty.
There's more questions as well, that's just the first one.
How about you? How are you feeling about old 13?
Mostly pretty good. I think, for me, it feels like the sort of, the flightiness and the overexcitement is a cover for a sort of, like, inner sadness and loneliness.
We saw that in a more kind of assertive and oh god she's panicking kind of way toward the end of this series.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment that suggested that to me the most strongly was at the end of at the start and the end of Arachnids in the UK.
Yeah.
When she's dropping them off and you can tell she's kind of like, I don't really want them to.
But at the same time, she's very afraid to get closer to them.
Yeah.
So there is sort of there is a distance there, but
whether or not the because again it's also like it's not always just down to Jodie or even the script. Sometimes it's down to the edit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's down to the direction, and I do feel like 13's far from my favourite Doctor. I like Jodie's enthusiasm a lot. I like the energy she brings to it a lot.
Yeah, I think that's the defining characteristic for me. It's just that it's the attack of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I just so wish, full on.
I wish we got more examples of what you just said, of like getting to kind of see the cracks a little.
Yeah, I think that's developed over this season, I think. For me, I think that has.
But I hope that's then consistent going forward. I hope she doesn't sort of slot back into, everything's lovely. Like, I hope we kind of see the cracks form a little more over a next series. But again, I think some of that is also down to the writing. I I don't think she has defined a character on paper.
No.
Until series 12.
No. That's fair.
But I've kind of grown used to that. We talked about this last week, where I was like, I think I've realised my era of the show is 2005 to 2010. Like, that's my era. I've not enjoyed it anywhere near as much since, but I've got enough enjoyment out of it that I've been like, yeah, I'm going to watch next year. Yeah, I'm going to watch another series. Bring it on. Bring on more stuff. So I'm kind of in that comfy spot of like, after Capaldi being so weirdly written, I'm sort of like, yeah, I don't mind that she's not hitting it for me. Because I am not. This isn't my favourite thing on the planet. It's
I've only had that feeling with the show once, and that's during Clara's last season. Yeah, I just checked out, and I didn't watch Face the Raven.
Which is weird, because that was one of the stronger ones in that series. But then it's undermined 2 episodes later. Yeah. So it's like, what is going on?
No, not even that. I didn't watch Face the Raven. I didn't watch...
Heaven Sent?
The Woman Who Lived.
Girl Who Died and The Woman Who Lived, I couldn't stand those 2 stories. And I think that for me, that was more down to the casting of Maisie Williams, because it kind of felt like stunt casting to be like, hey, Game of Thrones, you all like that, right?
Yeah.
Because they've had plenty of other actors from Game of Thrones and they've never made that fuss before. But also, like, Maisie Williams, you know, God bless her, great, but she didn't have the weight to pull off a character who has lived 100 lifetimes and lost so much. She tried, but there's only so much pretending you can do when you're in a show opposite actors who have lived a life, who can bring that to it. Yeah. Capaldi, you felt a world weariness, because Capaldi is in his 50s while he's making the show and has lived a lot and has got a lot of experiences to draw on from.
Just that's Craig Ferguson.
Yeah, well, God. Peter will always politely skirt the stories, but it's like, no, you guys have done some serious drugs. But Maisie Williams doesn't have that to recall on. No. So when acting opposite actors who do, it's less effective. But also, I was put off the show at that point, mostly for external reasons. There was an awful lot of aggressive love in the fandom. Yeah. That was very off-putting. I'd be like, I'm not really feeling Clara. And I guess maybe... And you'd get told off for not liking her.
I guess maybe people think that there's a bit of that now from the other side, but I think some of it is having to sort of combat... There are genuine people who have genuine concerns about the quality of the show, and people who were just like, oh, it's got women in it.
Yeah, oh God.
So it's kind of like parsing out what's what. Like, what is genuine criticism and what is just
my recent Doctor Who video that I did on YouTube. I as I do with all of my YouTube videos on my channel, I filter the comments because I have a preset fan base of younger people or people who watched me when they were younger finding my stuff, and I don't want the comments of my channel to necessarily be something that would be horrific for them to read. Like I'm very careful of that. Over time, that'll ebb away. Yeah. But right now, I'm still kind of cautious of that. So when I did the Doctor Who opinion video, talk about where the Ruth Doctor fits in the other week, I made it so the comments are censored. I will allow comments through where people are critical of the theory, the idea, and this, that, and the other, and they talk about why. I have had so many comments that are just like, well, Doctor Who's dead and Chibnall put a vagina-shaped bullet through its heart. It's like, you've never seen a vagina.
Have you been saving him?
No. I've not had many since we talked about it. I've only had about 2 since then, and they weren't that elaborate. Don't you worry. I will bait the morons soon.
Okay.
Sounds wrong, doesn't it?
I just wanted to read them all off.
I'll read you off in a minute.
Anyway, out of Series 11 and Series 12, which do you prefer? For me, Series 12 by a long shot. But I only got any enjoyment out of Episode 5 and Episode 9 as opposed to none in Season 11. So I can't say I'm a fan of it on the whole. I think Season 12 is generally more consistent. Yeah. But I think Season 11 had better individual standout episodes in Rosa and Demons and Punjab.
And oh balls, It Takes You Away.
Oh yeah.
The Woman Who Fell to Earth is like quite a strong opening one as well. Yeah, I think I feel equally about
Season 12's been consistently good.
Yeah.
But it hasn't had a Rosa.
Yeah,
basically.
It
for me, anyway.
It had attempts at that via fandom love, but not in terms of just effect of a single episode. Like you could argue that Fugitive of the Jadoon was as effective as event television as Rosa was. Yeah. But Rosa obviously has way more staying power. Yeah. Fugitive of the Jadoon is like Day of the Doctor. It's very much about that first watch.
Yes.
That's what will carry it for you going forward. Day of the Doctor has problems. I still get the warm fuzzies watching it because I immediately connect back to watching it for the first time and being like, this is what a great night. Isn't this so much fun? So, I'm sort of equal on the 2 seasons overall.
Favourite and least favourite episodes from Series 12?
Least favourite it's a toss-up between Orphan 55 and Praxius.
Yeah, I think it's the same for me, really.
Because again, we talked about it in earlier episodes, I just felt like the messages are good, but I felt they were handled oddly.
Orphan 55 is like 2 episodes worth of story crammed into one.
Yeah, it should have been a 2-parter, and you could have done and laced the idea of like maybe this is Earth in sooner in a subtle way.
I like
Inside
the
number
concept.
9, that shit.
Yeah,
Layer it in a way where you don't notice it, and then it all falls into place.
I like the concept,
but instead it just kind of goes.
and I like.
But it was Earth all along. It felt like the Futurama Twilight Zone parody, the scary door.
Yeah,
It was just oh, there's a good message here, but. Really? This is how you're delivering it? And Praxius was rather, this is a really good message, told quite well, but then the way it was told got really boring in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, the world hopping, like, everybody's off doing their own mission stuff at the start was really enjoyable. So I think those are my least favourites.
Most favourites?
Spyfall. I think Spyfall's my favourite story of this series. I really liked Can You Hear Me? But, Spyfall, just the gut punch of that story was so much. It felt exciting, and the momentum of it was really good.
Yeah, I think.
And as soon as they were like the Master's in it, part 2 suddenly became he's gonna hunt you through time story, and that was really cool. Like him showing up in different time periods in different guises.
Spyfall.
Plus, Lenny Henry was really good in it.
He was really good,
and I hope they pick up that thread.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
More Lenny Henry, please. Thoughts on the rumours that Bradley Walsh and Tosin Cole are departing after the special? This would mean that season 13 will consist of 13 and Yaz, the first single-gendered TARDIS team of the modern run, if you don't count Ten and Wilf. Do you think this would work, or do you think Chibs would add to the cast? The idea of 13 and Yaz does not make me smile, but I guess it would be a chance for Yaz to finally get a personality and allow for 13 to be centre stage, for once with the TARDIS not being so bloody overcrowded.
I'm all for it, weirdly. I'm all for those 2 leaving. I think if you got rid of one and not the other, it'd be weird. They have not... There's a thread they introduced briefly in Series 11 of, are Yaz and Ryan going to, like, flirt a little bit? And then Series 12, they've distanced it completely.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't feel like... It
Ryan,
wouldn't feel like the team's being torn apart.
Ryan's got eyes for Yaz's sister, to be fair.
Yeah, but it wouldn't feel like the team's being torn apart if you took away Ryan and his granddad Graham and took them out of the show.
No.
It wouldn't feel like the team's been ruined.
Yeah, I can't imagine Ryan going without Graham and vice versa. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It would suck to lose Graham.
Because I think he's great.
He injects so much like energy, and you can tell that there are some improv takes that have made it in. Where the way he's played with a line has been so much fun.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. And so it would suck to lose him, but at the same time, Mandip Gill's a really strong actor. I haven't fallen in love with the character of Yaz yet, but progression is being made. So maybe narrowing it down to Yaz and the Doctor will give that thingy.
Yaz is a character that has been built by the performance rather than the script.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to see more Yaz, not because of what she is on the page, is because of what Mandip Gill does with it.
Yeah.
Even if it isn't very much, she does interesting stuff with it.
Yeah. And also it goes back to the old Doctor Who kind of demographic thing of the earlier TARDIS teams, where normally in those teams there'd be a rough and tumble bloke in the TARDIS, like Ian, like Stephen, like Jamie, someone like Ben, someone will get their hands dirty, while the Doctor doesn't, because at that point they're an old frail man. Whereas in this instance, 13 she's not physically confrontational. Yaz is a police officer. You could have Yaz be that, like, more practical, more, we're not talking like Leela levels of kicking ass,
but she can handle herself.
Yeah, so that would be interesting, because 13 could then, on the surface, be that fluffy bundle of marshmallows that she projects out to everybody, giving Yaz the function within the show.
Here
as
is my
being
enforcer.
The person.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Because then in the functions of the show, you're using some of that basic formula again of the Doctor is this, the companion is this. These are their roles. This is what they do for us, the audience, and what they do for themselves. Put them in a situation, see what happens.
Remember before season 5 came out and people were theorising that somehow Amy was an actual policewoman?
From the very few pictures we got of that uniform.
Policewomen do not wear skirts like that.
I don't think it was skirt. I think it was just like a really tiny pair of shorts.
No, I think it was a tiny skirt. I think.
No, you're right. Yes, it is. Yes, because it led sort of weight to that really upsetting rumour that a big part of why she was cast was down to just having really nice legs. Based on a quote said from Doctor Who Confidential and a magazine interview at the time about her casting.
I mean, she has.
Both of them mentioned that like she's got legs going up to forever, and it's like, why is that relevant in this conversation about her casting? Oh, and then in the first episode you put her in a tiny skirt.
Oh, it's Stephen Moffat. Oh, cool.
Interesting. Rumour, but those two things are real and you can find them.
Next one.
Oh, right.
Next one comes in from Charlie. This is not a Doctor Who email.
You froze there for a second.
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to finish.
I'll never finish singing
Oh, no!
Fiesta by the Pogues. Until we get hit by a copyright strike, I will never finish singing it.
This comes in from my good friend Charlie.
Charles Xavier.
It says, good ye, God even.
So he's not Charles Xavier.
Gentlemen.
Ah, Charlie!
As I'm sure you've seen, Neil Druckmann, the naughtiest of dogs, is set to start development on an adaptation of his seminal work, The Last of Us.
That's a great description.
What with this and Uncharted soon to begin its crawl down the pipeline. Fucking accurate.
Very true.
I got to thinking, could they actually get it this right? Could they actually get it right this time? They being the faceless corporate vultures and it being a video game adaptation as a whole. I can attest, as strongly if not more so than Matthew, how utterly turgid the now most commercially successful video game movie is. I see loads of people have been to see Sonic and liked it though. Weird. I don't get it. They're never good. Even when they're great, they're shit. The Witcher obviously does not count being an adaptation of a series of I've been meaning to read those honestly books.
That is a great description of those books.
But I had my reservations, nay, even outright worries about the Watchmen adaptation HBO commissioned and then proceeded to knock out of the park. Despite the deck being firmly and historically stacked against it, could The Last of Us be good? Hell, could it be great? You know what? Bugger it. What if Uncharted was good too? I think you may have predicted the questions already, but here they are.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Pitch me both The Last of Us and Uncharted for their respective new mediums. Brief plot outline, do we follow the original plots or move beyond them, or ignore them entirely and tell a totally tangential tale? You don't have to include any plot elements you may already be aware of, however, as it's already fairly entrenched in all our minds at this point. Tom Holland is young Nate. You can kill him off in the title credits if you like, but he has to be there. Beyond that,
you can kill him off in the title credit and then there's no film for the rest of the 2-hour runtime.
Beyond that, both series and film are yours to play with and mould, not the Cordyceps kind, to your liking. I want creativity, gentlemen. I want your wax. Give me your wax.
Good God.
Fuckety bye.
Thank you, Charlie, for the most sinister gauntlets.
So here's what I do. I've not thought about this at all, honest. Uncharted would be between the teen Nate flashbacks in Uncharted 3 and the first Uncharted movie, and it would be the sort of early career of Nate under the tutelage of Sully.
Mm-hmm.
Who really shouldn't be Mark Wahlberg.
No,
Please, God, no, not be Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, it's me. I'm Sully.
It's me. He doesn't even have the right sort of...
We'll crack open a Coors Light.
No.
On this car door.
Big old cigar chomping motherfucker he should be. It's like Burt Reynolds, if Burt Reynolds was still around.
Yes.
Young, but he isn't, so...
No. Bring him up. Get that Onward MacGuffin.
Who would be a good Sully.
So we're still sticking to young.
I think we stick to young Nate because then instead of adapting any of the games,
Hmm.
you can just sort of slot it in between and still have it be a companion to the games rather than a retelling.
Alan Tudyk.
Well, Sully.
Yes.
Okay.
Slightly non-conventional, but he could totally play that level of lovable sleazebag.
Fillion though.
No, because you'd spend the whole movie going,
Why
why
isn't he
isn't he
Nate?
playing Drake? Yeah. Yeah.
Or have it set after Uncharted 4 with flashbacks to young Nate
Right.
with Sully parallel to old Nate, played by Nathan Fillion,
Yes.
with his daughter.
Yes. Yes. I mean, no, because I don't want them to tell any stories beyond that ending. But at the
It is a
same
good ending,
time,
to be
it's
fair.
but at the same time, that way you get the best of both worlds.
You get the best of both worlds, and you get to set up a female-led
Yeah.
action-adventure franchise that banks on the popularity of the video game series.
Yeah, shit. Shit. Absolutely. Okay, when you put it that way, yeah, it's a series about her, not him. But we utilise flashbacks.
But yeah, you parallel their relationship. So it's almost, maybe it's like they're revisiting so Nate is or Nate's daughter discovers something that Nate sort of passed over when he was younger. And then she goes on a quest to find it. Nate unreluctantly has to go after her, despite Elena's protests. And then
so your mummy returns it a little bit.
Yeah.
So you a little bit of that.
but then because she's revisiting something from Nate's past, you get the parallel of when Nate and Sully originally went after it. And maybe it was something that ended badly, and then they had someone died, and Nate and Sully got out of it, and then that was a dark moment for them.
Flashback Sully. The Tooch.
Oh, Tooch would be a great
Stanley
Sully,
Tucci.
though. He would be.
Yeah.
He would be a great Sully.
And you know full well you could probably, if you wanted Sully to make an appearance toward the end in the present day timeline, you could just literally put some makeup on the Tooch.
Yeah,
and
you
would
could.
do it.
And it would be great.
And it would be great, because he's Stanley goddamn Tucci. The Tooch. The goddamn Tooch. Tooch and Tom.
Tooch and Tom.
The latest stoner duo. Tooch and Tom. They would be quite good.
So yeah,
if
that's
they
what
got
I
to one
do.
another.
That's what I'd do. I'd have the two parallel stories.
I concur on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, similarly, the only idea that comes to my would be you James Bond it. You just you tell a story with Nate set between the flashbacks of 3 and the first one at some point, and that's how you use your Tom Holland, and you do that. If it's successful, you don't do another one. You leave it there and go, wasn't that cool? Do you like it, folks? Go play the fucking video games.
Yeah.
You get to be that guy, and it's awesome. Or if you do a second one, you do it with Fillion.
Yeah.
In fact, there you go. You do. Yeah, all right. I'm breaking my rule. You do one set post 4 with Fillion as you follow on, and you can have some flashbacks to Hollands. Then you get the whole he was part of why the first one was great. Right. Well, then he's in it, and then that way. And you work with the team at Naughty Dog so that they don't contradict a damn thing.
Yeah.
So then that way, you can, if you wanted to have the full Uncharted experience, you watch Uncharted the film.
I think that's a good shout.
You play the games in order, complete with Lost Legacy after 4, and then you watch the sequel, and it bookends the series of stories.
Yeah.
And then that way, they don't touch it, they don't they don't change anything, they don't cast Mark fucking Wahlberg as Sully. Can't believe that. Unless we see a trailer and it's like, oh my god, this is Heath Ledger levels of I did not expect this. I think it's one of the worst casting decisions ever.
Yeah, that's bad. It's bad casting.
I have a feeling he's involved in it in some way.
Yeah, he's producer on it.
Oh, there you go.
That's because he wanted to play.
I want to be in it. I like
he wanted to play Drake.
See, I wouldn't hate
He's a better
that.
Drake than he is a Sully.
I wouldn't be there for it, but I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
But
It's been in development for so long that he's aged out of it.
Oh god, yeah. Until then, we have that short film Nathan Fillion made.
That was
with
very
an effects
good.
house.
That was like Dirty Laundry levels of very good. But
yes.
it never happened.
Do you remember the Venom one of that is hard to find?
Oh, where
short
it's like
Venom film.
it's like sort of like a documentary thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It was alright.
It was okay.
It's not as good as Dirty Laundry. Dirty Laundry was
It was
great.
very good.
And the Power Rangers short was really good as well.
The Last of Us.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
I would, but I'd expand it. I'd expand.
Would you stick with Ellie and Joel? Because I wouldn't. If you're going to tell a story in that world, tell a different story in that world.
Yeah, I would. And
have them cross into your season finale or something. So
No,
that way you get the oh my god, Ellie and Joel are here.
I'd tell that story of the first game, but
Okay.
I'd expand it on the front end with a lot more stuff between Joel's daughter's death
Yeah.
and incorporate and have big time jumps between episodes, similar to The Witcher.
Would you toss a coin to your Joel?
Oh yeah, toss a coin to my Joel. But also embellish, like bring in the American Nightmares prequel stuff. Was it not American Nightmares? They did a comic version of it and then they released it as DLC, and it's the Riley and Ellie stuff.
Really?
Have that in there and expand on that, because I think Neil Druckmann's already been talking about like the series. It's gonna be
gonna be
Ellie and Tess and Riley and Marlene and all that.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's pre The Last of Us or post The Last of Us?
So the Ellie and Riley stuff is immediately pre
the first game.
Okay. It was released DLC for the first game,
right?
And it is,
and that's what the series is going to focus on.
It's Ellie and no. That's just stuff that's he's mentioned. He was talking about female characters for International Women's Day.
Oh, right, okay.
But he could also be talking about the game, so who knows? Who takes it as confirmation?
If this right, do 6 episode seasons. The first series do an adaptation of that. The second series do an adaptation of Joel's story leading up to the events of the game, and the third series just adapt the game. One and done. Boom.
Yeah,
give us the weight.
That's where I would go with it. It's like, fill out the backstories and sort of lead and adapt the games, because I think that it's a good solid story and it could absolutely work as a TV show, as a sort of split narrative.
Don't over rely on Walking Dead-esque sequences of, well, we have these costumes and makeup effects, so let's do lots of swarms of clickers and everything. Like, no.
No, you don't
be
need big
inventive.
hordes.
Make your set pieces inventive. Because that's the shit that will be remembered.
Yeah.
And then it won't become the Walking Dead slog that is the Walking Dead, where it's just like, oh, more of this.
Because you can adapt the basic story beats of the game, but and insert your own action set pieces that are more filmic. And where you would have puzzle solving and stealth sequences, that's where you put like some tense stuff in to sort of pad out the narrative. I think it could really work, because I think Naughty Dog work in a very cinematic storytelling way, because they don't have a lot of multiple choice stuff.
No.
There are some moments, like at the end of The Last of Us, that give you the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
But you never really have a choice.
Oh, God, no. They snatched that shit away from you.
Yeah. So it is a linear story that can be adapted. So I don't think there's any reason not to do it. Have you seen some of the fan casting for Ellie and Joel?
I've seen one where I'm like, this would have worked better 20 years ago, because a lot of people are saying Hugh Jackman and Ellen Page, and it's like,
they're both
Ellen
too
Page
old
is
now.
20 years older than she needs to be for the role, and Hugh Jackman could conceivably play it, but the demands of that sort of show would be like, this is a man who has just got out of having to be hench for a living, who's like now just staying fit for a living. Don't force him to get hench again. Don't do it, folks.
The one that I came across that I really liked was
Stanley Tucci playing both roles.
Stanley Tucci was Nikolai Coster-Waldau for Joel.
What do I know him from?
Jamie Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Yeah? Yeah?
And-
Okay, yeah, don't hate that. Don't hate that.
And Caitlin Dever for Ellie, who was in Booksmart.
Yeah?
No. Caitlin Dever.
Jesus Christ. That still of her, like, is just flat out
Yeah.
Ellie. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That is nuts. You need to cast somebody who's either super young and you get your limited run of it filmed ASAP.
Yeah.
Or you cast somebody in their 20s who has that younger face and you stick with it.
Caitlin Dever's 24.
So she has a young face.
Yeah.
So she'd work fine. You could get absolutely a couple of years of the show without people like, what do you mean she's got to look young? No, literally, because it's the Walking Dead problem. How quickly does Carl age in that fucking show?
The Last of Us takes place over the course of a year.
Yeah.
And it's not long before the stuff with Ellie and Riley doesn't happen long before, because that's when she gets bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's you can film all that stuff up front.
Mm-hmm.
Go back if you're worried about some, but then if she's in Caitlin Dever's 24, so it's not going to make that much of a difference. But if you have a younger actor, you can film all that stuff up front and then don't do the stuff that she's not in last, so you can get all that into your shooting schedule. Yeah. There you go. But it depends what
you don't want a Walking Dead or It Chapter 2 situation.
No, but I do a 10-episode season. I do the first 3 episodes, bridging the gap between the outbreak and where Joel is at the start of the main story. The couple of episodes that do Ellie and Riley, Ellie getting bit, Ellie being taken in by Marlene, and then the last 5 episodes adapts the game.
Yes. Yeah. That's perfect. And then call it there. Because my main worry is HBO are like, we're looking for a new Game of Thrones. And it's like, some things shouldn't be churned out. Like, they're better concise. Like, at some level, there was somebody in the executive board who was thick enough to go, well, the ratings for that were amazing. What are we doing to get Chernobyl Series 2 off the ground?
Yeah.
You know full well that conversation was had at least once.
Well, they did. Instead, what they did was, they said to Craig Mazin, what do you want to do next? And he said The Last of Us, and they said, okay.
Yeah.
Because he's doing
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
The Mr. Punch rules. Except don't beat a baby or, knock your wife out with a chain of sausages. But then he defeats the devil, so...
That's the way to do it!
Bad rule.
On that note...
on the Mr. Punch rules.
We should probably leave.
Yeah, but we don't want to leave without giving you guys a way to throw money at us.
Yeah.
So, patreon.com/BigDamnCast if you want to support the shows. And more importantly for you, get early access to all of our video content and much, much more. Support us on there, patreon.com/BigDamnCast. You can also watch our streams on twitch.tv/BigDamnStream.
Yeah.
And to basically catch anything we do, we pretty much telegraph that shit in on twitter.com/BigDamnCast. That's at BigDamCast on the Twitter.
I think I've fixed the stream problems now, so eventually backlogging should be back.
But
I'm probably going to move it to Wednesdays and Sundays. But keep an eye on the Twitter.
Keep your peepers peeled, folks. And if in doubt, just follow twitch.tv/BigDamCast.
That's the one.
Stream. And give it a follow, and that way you'll be notified, you dirty bastards. But until then, I'm going to go now and try and find the last remaining pack of tagliatelle in all of this.
In all the world!
I won't find it. Bye!